Sixers are kind of undergoing the head coach search. So the only report by a verified NBA source, Woj, was that we are interviewing Nick Nurse, former Raptors coach, was the G League coach of the Houston Rockets affiliate when Morey was there. So there is that connection already there. Also, big analytics guy, so another Morey connection right there. And then a report that I saw yesterday from one of the Philadelphia Barstool accounts was that Frank Vogel was flying to Philadelphia for an assumed interview with the Sixers. So that's pretty much the only two reports of us interviewing guys so far. What do you guys make of the two candidates that are being reported that we've are interviewing between Vogel and Nurse?
What am I supposed to think?
Well, do you have a preference on either one or no?
I mean, my gut tells me it's Nick Nurse.
Me too.
Because of a previous relationship and, style of interest from he and Morey. That's just what my gut tells me. I don't particularly know or feel otherwise, like how it can be different, how it can be effective. And I think mainly a part of that is like because I don't really know how the team gonna look. I don't know what so it's hard to really get excited about a particular candidate. And we don't know what we're gonna have yet. We don't know how that's gonna look yet. So I think free agency is going to be huge and determining the enthusiasm and excitement in a certain direction.
Unless Nurse is our big acquisition in the offseason.
Yeah, we got rid of a coach and I thought it was more on the players than the coach. So I'm not going to go into now and thinking another coach is going to come in and get me more enthused.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. Like I said, my gut says Nick Nurse. I don't, outside of a relationship, I know Frank too, but I don't know. I mean, it's just a different voice. Like, what is it? A different voice is going to come in, and all of a sudden it's just going to be better.
Yeah. I mean, I would expect Harden to be a big topic of conversation when they interview anybody. Like, what's your guys' plan here? You're going to hire me. I need to know if he's going to be here or not. That's kind of important for me.
I wouldn't necessarily think that they have to, because I don't think they can make a commitment that he's going to be back because it's his choice. So they can't necessarily say he's going to be here. I think the conversation has to be more of, if he's here, what's your preference and how do you use him and how do we play?
Yes.
If he's not there, you have a scenario of we replace him with wing players and let Maxey handle the point. Or do we go get another point and let Maxey continue to play the wing? So those, to me, that's the kind of conversation you have, because you can't have it saying, I know he's going to be there, because it's not their choice. Yeah. They can make an effort. Sixers can offer him the most money that he can get, and he can still not stay.
Yeah. Yeah, I read a few breakdowns of just Nurse and how he would fit, but he apparently his defense, he's known for his defense. It's very, very taxing on his players. They predicate on crashing big in the paint and then getting back for 3-point shooters. So it's a lot. They say it's like wind sprints for defense. So whoever wrote that article said that'll be an interesting fit if Harden does get retained. So I don't know how much Harden's going to want to be doing wind sprints back from the paint to the 3-point line all game. So, yeah, interesting.
That would be the worst thing, for Embiid wise, for the stamina aspect.
That's why Toronto also like to have all similar sized guys.
Yep, a lot of very long wing.
Yeah, you can do that when you have that type of style. If you don't have that, then you can't do that.
They also said too, though,
if you go to a different team without that kind of makeup, you'll have to adjust.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also said too that he hasn't had a guy to really protect the paint since Gasol left. So now with Embiid being there, maybe that makes it a little easier, and you don't have to have everyone crash and collapse all the time just because you have a guy who can actually defend the paint by himself. Like he didn't really have that the last couple years since Gasol. So
Got it.
That would be nice.
So for right now, we're kind of we're not celebrating a potential Knicks Nurse hire. We're just kind of like meh. We're kind of mad with it. Is that?
No, I'd be cool with Nurse.
Yeah, I'm fine with him. I'm just saying it's hard for me to really be so enthused without knowing the direction of the team.
Mm.
I mean, you talking about your second best player maybe not being there, and if he's not, how are we going to make up for that?
Mm. The reports are that Milwaukee and Phoenix are very interested in Nick Nurse. So it seems like it's a three-way race for Nurse. That's what it seems like with Woj reporting yesterday. If Nurse were to pick the Sixers over the other two teams, does that give you any kind of reason for promise that we might bring back Harden? Or I mean, what does that say to you if he ends up picking us over the other two options? Which you can make the argument that Milwaukee and Phoenix are in a better spot than the Sixers are.
It tells me two things. One, he had the better deal there. And then two, he has a previous relationship. That's what it tells me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you can't look at that situation and say, the Sixers is better. Like I think they all have their pros and cons.
Yeah.
Milwaukee has Giannis and Drew Holiday, but they still got Middleton and I think Lopez are free agents or can be free agents.
Yep.
So that team can look different. You don't really know how it's going to look. Phoenix, obviously you got the Aiden situation, you got Chris Paul situation. They have to get some depth. You don't know how that's going to look. With us, you have the James situation.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really know how it's going to look.
They all come with their own little
baggage. Three teams at the end of the day that had good regular seasons, didn't do well postseason. All kinds of stuff and all good options. So I think it's going to come down to best deal, best flexibility, best, you have a little say, best who can, flexibility with staff and all of that other stuff. I mean, I think if he's involved in all these different places, he'll have a little leverage for his agent to work some deals out. Sometimes I think it may come down to that. Team giving him 5 years instead of 4. So that's what tells me that the Sixers, tells me gave him the better deal in the previous relationship is what I would point at more so than him thinking the Sixers is the best option. So.
Yeah, that's a good point.